Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to use Terraform to create a virtual machine instance and storage bucket on Google Cloud Platform and deploy a basic web application which is Nginx using Docker container. Terraform is a powerful tool that allows you to define and provide data center infrastructure using a declarative configuration language. So I have explained a lot about Terraform in the previous videos. If you're new to my channel, please, I highly suggest you to go back to my channel and look for the previous videos. I have covered creating VPCs and EC2 instance and also EKS through Terraform in AWS in my last videos. So let's go ahead with this video. So before we start, we have some prerequisites which we need to cover. So we have, before going to there, we have multiple ways uh, to actually create create virtual instance using Terraform in Google Cloud. So there are three methods: using Google Cloud CLI, using username password, and then using Google Cloud Console and the service account. We need to create a service account. I'm going to show all of them today in this tutorial. So before that, there are prerequisites. We need to install Google Cloud SDK. So let me go to this link. I'm going to have this updated in my code, so you don't need to worry about. So I already opened this somewhere. Let me check. Uh, yeah, I think this is the, yep. So this is the same document which I copied from there. So in here we are going to learn. So this is the installing step. You can I'll be attaching this URL to the YouTube description, so you don't need to worry about it. So these are the basic. We have multiple OS we can use. So I'm using Mac OS. So I have already downloaded this tar zip file and followed the complete steps which was mentioned here. So after installing, we'll be able to use the Google CLI. So after this, you need to set up the initialize the Google CLI. If you come here, and you could see like of Google auth again and then activate service account kind of thing. But let me do Google init real quick and show you how it works. So yep, this is the Google Cloud. So I have actually create a project for this. Let me go back and show you how to create a project for this initial point. So this is the Google platform. You need to come here and create a new project. I'm going using the Terraform, but I'm going to show you how to create the new project. So let's say this is something. Let's create, and then a new project will be created for you, something like this. And let's wait for it to be created. Yep, it's created, and then we can select the project. And there are few things you need to do before setting up. So let's go here and go to the computer engine. You need to enable the API here in order to start working on creating the instances. So you can just click on enable here, and let's wait for it to be activated. Okay, it's taking time. I think let's uh, let me show you the code in the real time once it is started. So this is a code which I have written for this. So let's go one by one. So this is basically like we have two files, main and variable. So the output is something which I will explain you later. This is something, the output file is something which is how we get the output after the resource has been created. So let's go ahead and look around for variables and main. So this is the provider which I got from the main Terraform URL. So from here, I think there is a documentation, so you can go ahead and yep. So this is the provider. So the main git file, in the main.tf file, we will define our provider, our resources, that like provider and the resource we want to create. The provider is in this case the provider is Google, which is Google Cloud Platform, and the resources include VPC network and a subnet and a firewall and a static IP address. Uh, and the static IP address, and then the VM instance, and I'm creating a storage bucket as well in this explanation. So I'm creating a bucket with the name of here. And also, actually, in this tutorial, I'm going to explain how we can, after creating the VM instance, we can deploy a basic Nginx web application to this VM within this code. So let me go by one. So think of VPC network. I already explained a lot of things about VPC in AWS in previous YouTube channel video, so you can go ahead and look. But here I can explain again. So think of VPC network as a virtual version of your physical network in a data center. It provides a connectivity of your VM instance and other resources. Um, the subnet is something like is a specific range of IP address within the VPC network. And the firewall resource is like a security guard controlling the traffic to our VM instance. It allows certain type of connections like ICMP or for ping and TCP for web traffic. And when coming for the static IP address, the static IP address is a fixed IP address that the internet can be used to communicate with our VM instance. And VM instance is a physical server in the cloud. It's a virtual machine hosted on Google infrastructure. In our case, it's configured to install. We usually update everything, all the packages, and install Docker, and then install, start the Docker and enable the Docker, and then add the user, Docker user to the present user, and then install Docker Compose, um, and actually. Like these Docker Compose will be it's configured to install Docker and Docker Compose on startup, and then it runs a Nginx Docker container. This could be used to host a web application. And finally, I'm creating a bucket. The storage bucket is like a folder in the cloud where you can store files. It's globally unique object storage, and meaning you can store and retrieve any amount of data at any time from anywhere from on the web. So let's go ahead and talk about variables. So I created the variables for here for region, for project ID, the one which we are creating, the project ID and the region here. And uh, and one more thing, we actually didn't mention anything on project ID. We are going to do it here. So see here, I think we did Google Cloud in it. So let's go back there after discussion. So we are creating region and the zone. The variable has been created, and also subnets area. Um, uh, yeah, and also the subnets area, and then machine type, which would be 1 second. I think it will be somewhere here. Yeah, machine type here, and then and the image. So we are using um, a, a normal default image for boot disk actually. So that's how it works. So let's go back and see what's yeah, it's enabled now. So for my project, you can be able to create instance. So let's go back to our previous project which I created. And one more thing, I think you need to go ahead and create a service account for creating it. So let's go here and then click on uh, it could be somewhere here. Yeah, I am an admin, and then go to the service accounts, and then create a new service account from here. So so that's okay. And then create a service account from here, and then you will be able to provide something like Terraform user, and then Terraform user, and then just click and continue. You don't need any role for now, but you can, if you want to give, I think you can give admin role, but I'm going ahead without it. That's it. The service account has been created. So let's go ahead and open this, and we need to create a key. Add key and create a new key. Like JSON has been created. That's how it's downloaded to our local. So this key is very important. You need to use this key to continue to log into your communicate to your Google Cloud from your Terraform. So let's go ahead and look at the prerequisites. I already explained about Google SDK. You can follow this document to download the Google SDK in your local and then initialize the Google SDK. And we have a Google account created, and we also created a service account. And also we created the JSON format. And now I think we have the installation steps. We need to have our Terraform installed as we needed, and then let's go back and create a new configuration. So once everything has been done, once the installation is completed, you need to initialize the Google Cloud CLI, and then I'm going to create a new configuration, and it's asking enter configuration name, anything. I'll say Terraform config, yeah? And it's checking for the network. It'll try to give a connection, and then I'm going to use my user ID, which is the first one where I have everything. So if it will show you all the projects which I have within my Google account, and we created a new one. So let's go ahead and look for the my project, and this is the ID. See here, Studios Apex 39392, and if you go ahead and here and see Studio Apex, and if you select 4, type 4, and then you will be able to see, do you want to, yes, configuration type is, and then select, I'm using in this, I think let me central 1A. So let's look for the central one. Yeah. Oh, you need to provide the version number. Once again, 8, it would be 8. Yeah, that's it, we were able to install. So since I have explained about it, let's run the code and see if it will be able to create the part. So we created the service account. So we are using the first option. In this case we are just using user default, and if you run this command, like, it will automatically once we configure the once we initialize the Google Cloud CLI, and if you run this command, if you come here and run this command, it will automatically log in. Okay, I think it's saying we'll just say default. Instead of default, we just say login. It will ask for the version, and just you can select the user and then allow it. So you're now authenticated with Google Cloud CLI. So now you will be able to run Terraform. So now you are all set. Um, so your current project is, you can change the setting by running. So that's how it is. So let's do clear screen. So I have already explained about VPC subnet firewall, and also the open, we are allowing these ports 22.80.443.80.80, and we are providing the static IP, which will not change even after any issues. This will be a permanent IP will be assigned, and we're creating a VM instance which is called demo instance, and then we are creating a network interface, and then we are providing a metadata startup script where we updates the packages and start the Docker and Compose, and then deploy a web application Nginx to our server, and then finally we're creating the bucket. And this lifecycle part is like something it's a meta argument. If you remember in my previous video, I have explained about this lifecycle. Let me go ahead and show you how it works. Terraform lifecycle block. This is a lifecycle meta argument, and if you see here, we have multiple parts we can create before destroy, and let's go to our part, which is action delete. So we are basically deleting. We are providing action for that. I think you can think it of at like we were providing a condition where we need to delete the bucket, whatever present in the bucket, after 35 days. Like in 1 year, it will be try to create all the files in the resource. So that's how it is. And finally, the output file, we are outputting the project ID, region, zone, subnet CIDR. This is the block for the subnet, and machine type, image. I just paste everything which I am using in this code just for static IP instance and instance external IP. This is the IP which we need to connect. So let's do Terraform init real quick. That's how Terraform validate, which to validate the configuration. Terraform plan. It will ask for the project ID, so we need to go back and get the project ID from here. So that's how it works. And then once you do it, it's gonna ask for confirmation. So these are the things which we're going to create it. Yeah. So it's going to create the static IP, and then the firewall, and then the VM. This has everything, and also meta startup script, and also boot disk will be here. This will be using the default one, and the image will be DBM cloud, which will be picking the automatic and the network interface, and the Google Play Network VPC, and the subnet, and finally the bucket. Yeah. So there are 6 resources to add. So let's do Terraform apply. Oh, before going there, so let's show you. I'm going to show you what is present right now in my Google Cloud console. So if you go to compute and VM instances, it's empty. And if you go to the snapshots, no, I think it's bucket, right? Let me go back. I think, yeah, cloud storage, and then you don't see anything here for now. So there are no buckets present at present. So let's go back and run the code. If you do Terraform apply, and it will ask for the project ID again, just for confirmation, and then you can think it as just do Terraform project ID and and provide the confirmation. So it starts creating everything now. So let's see. And before while it is creating, I'm going to explain about few more things. I think yeah, I think in Google Cloud, this is not they're providing a $300 credits for using this service for 3 months, and I'm using a trial version right now, and you can do that first for free. But after, just to be sure, to make sure that you have after using 3 months, you'll be careful with using it. You just make to make sure you don't use anything after the trial. Um, yep. And and then the next part would be um, so I'm going to explain about provision of GK cluster in the next video, just to be they have complete in documentation, but I'll try to make it very simple for you. And also here is a code, so which I just using in my code. So right now you can go ahead and use this code in my GitHub, which is free and it's open source. So um, yeah, let's go back and look around. Yeah, the resource has been created. So let's go ahead and look at our console and go ahead and look for virtual machines. Yeah, here you go. The demo instance has been created, the external IP. And you can see the same thing here. So the firewall name is demo firewall, the image name, external IP, this is the image IP. So let me show you the application. So I have explained you the application, right? So let me run this command so that it should, uh, I think it's gonna take some time to initialize, I guess. It's oh, yeah, I think it's using HTTPS. Okay, let me look at around. I'm using the correct one. Hmm? Yeah, sometimes it's kind of gonna take some time to refresh. Let's wait for a few minutes. Let's go ahead and look at the instance real quick. The demo instance has been created, and there should be a bucket has been also created right now. Let's go ahead and look for the bucket. I think it's using the Terraform. Oh yeah, here it is. This is the demo bucket we have created. This is the name. So this is empty right now, but we created a bucket. And if you go back and look for the compute VM instance, you will be able to see the instance has been created. Let's go ahead and see. So this is running. It's running on central zone, which I have provided. And preserved state size. And let's scroll down. And the machine type is micro, which is free to use. So the right now the HTTP traffic is off. That's weird. Let me. Yeah, here you go. I think it's gonna take some time to come up, but this is the Nginx server which has been which we have created using Docker. It's a container. This is the part. So that's how it works. And there are. Let me go back to the previous site. We can use Cloud Console as well to create this, and also there is one more. We can use service account as well. Let me stop this real quick, and I'll show you the other example. Let me do Terraform destroy. We need to provide the project ID. I'm going to destroy this. And now we are going to use Cloud Shell. You can click on here and then you will be able to see a Cloud Shell here. We can activate this. You need to, at first it will take some time for you to activate. You have to click on free or something like that. And see here, I have already created before, so let me clear this. So I have already copy pasted those files, the main file, the OTP variable file. So if you see here, so this is the same file which I copied from over there from my local. So and also other files as well. So let's complete further to be completed, and then we can initiate. I think it's going to take some time. So there is one more thing I have to explain. I thought I explained. So there are Terraform provisioners, which are like we have three type of provisioners. In this is very useful for you in your projects. So we have local provisioner and remote provisioner, and then yeah, here it is. Terraform resource type. Yeah, there are three types: local, and remote, and the other one would be a file. So the remote would be we can using the provisioner, we actually can go ahead and run commands on the remote server, basically something like this. And there is one more part like local provisioner, um, which is like running the local. One second, I think local provisioner Terraform. This is the local execute, and I think this is very useful to understand. Like invokes a local executable after resources created. So something you can after the resource is completed, you can use this remote execute and run the commands. It has examples, something like see we can create a web and then set the private ID. Yep, and we have these options you can use. And the next part will be file provisioner. We can copy files from our local to um, to the remote server actually using this file provisioner. Yep, we can copy files or directories from machine local run to the newly created resources. Yep, let's go back and look around. I think it has been destroyed. So let's use the second option in our part. So we'll be using Google Cloud Console to create the resources. Let me go back to the console. Here we go, and we can do Terraform init, Terraform validate, Terraform plan. We need to provide the I think I have provided here, right? Let me go back and I forgot the name of the. Yep, here it is. Studio Apex. Where's the Cloud Shell? I think I have somewhere here. I think yeah. You just copy that and then it's ready. So you can do Terraform apply and just provide the project ID. Just do test. Right now it's going to stop. It has been deleted stage actually. If you see here. So it's got deleted, and now using this cloud console, we are trying to create it again. So let's wait for it to be completed. Yeah, it's already created. So let's go back and refresh. Yeah, see here, we already created, and you will be able to, I think now it's going to show a different IP because we have created a new, we deleted it and created a new one, right? So I think it's going to take some time. Yeah, here you go. So it's very fast now. Initial time it will take some time. So let's do that form destroy, and I'm going to show you the last option how to do it. Where it is, it should be here. So the last option would be using service account we created in the. Okay, I think in the initially when I showed you about the key how to create, I think I did a mistake. I'm going to create a new service account again. So let's go ahead and just queue admin and Terraform admin. And then just do and create and continue. And then you need to provide editor role to have the complete access. Okay, I think so. That's going to create a new role. In the previous, this is the previous service account I created. I disabled it. Let me go here now and create a new key. Let me create a new key. So key has been downloaded. I'll just rename this as key JSON, and I'm going to copy this to my present directory. Here, I think you can place it anywhere, but so I have mentioned something here too. Once we create the user with admin permissions, you need to export the credentials to the present working directory. Okay, I think I will just. Okay, this is the place where we have files. And then the key name is gateway.json. Okay, now we are good. Just do Terraform init. So Terraform validate. Oh, Terraform validate and do Terraform plan. And the user ID. No, project ID, sorry. And Terraform apply. And the project ID. Confirm. Yep. And this is how we're gonna create VM instance in Google Cloud using these three methods. I think this is the best way to. I would suggest following the service node JSON key for production environment, and I think this is using Google Cloud CLI is personal. I think you can use it for any test or dev environments. It should be easy for you to opt in, but I would suggest use service account and JSON key for a production environment. Yeah, that's all for today's video. I think let's wait for this to be completed and then we're going to destroy it. And I'm going to cover about in the next video, I'm going to cover about provisioning of GK cluster using Terraform. This is the documentation, but I'm going to make it very simple for you like I did for this one. And I would suggest you more very good options you can and industry standards to make sure you have a good have a good understanding about the complete setup. Let's go ahead. Yeah, this is all created now. So let's really check for the application, and then yeah, here you go. The Linux web application is up and running. So that's all for this today's video. I hope you guys liked my video. Please do like and subscribe my channel. I have seen no one was a lot of people are looking at my video, but they don't subscribe to my videos. I mean, they subscribe to my channel. Please do subscribe so that I can do more content like this. Please do encourage my videos. Yeah, see you guys tomorrow on the next video. Thank you.